Hi everyone. My name is Paddy Quinlan. Before I start, I do want to just thank Emilio for sending us over here. It's my first time here, and it's been great. So can we just get a round of applause for Emilio, please? There we go. I just want to say, I'm actually not. I'm here with my Chief Commercial Officer, Owen Stack. What I learned today was that the benefit of senior management is you get to decide who's up here and who sits down there, so it's pretty good. So I'm going to talk to you about two things while I'm up here. One is Dublin. What is Dublin? Why is it good for startups? And then secondly, obviously, I'm going to talk about the DC Ryan Academy. So before I get into this properly, you need to keep mindful of the fact that Dublin has 1.4 million people, so everything is extremely relative to this. But this is an amazing statistic coming out of Citibank that they've said that by 2025 that Ireland will be the 22nd most competitive city in the world. We are nowhere near the 22nd biggest city in the world, so that's great. I just want to get the elephant out of the room. I suppose everybody knows that we have a low tax rate of 12.5%, but most startups aren't really profitable for the first few years. So why would you start in Ireland? There's a lot of good reasons. So we have one of the best track records of foreign direct investment. We have we were voted best to invest 2 years ago and third best last year. What this really reflects is then we have nine of the top 10 global tech companies and 8 of the top US companies in the world. Here's just a little portion of Dublin. Dublin has been said once as being Silicon Valley, but being about a quarter the size of it. What's amazing about it is that you can meet these people. Like, these people aren't in ivory towers; they're just in small places you can go and walk into and talk to them. So it was last year. It was voted as the best place in the world to do business, which I think is an incredible statistic. Ireland is the second biggest exporter of ICT in the world, but just behind the US. With a population of 4 million, that's pretty incredible. So we've 200 startups. I should point out that these are all obviously pictures of Dublin. This is it's a very nice city, as you can see. So there's 200 startups founded every year. There's half of the population are under 35, which is and then we're rated as #1 in the world to access to human capital. That's probably because that we are #1 in the world for people finishing third level. So we have a young, flexible, educated workforce who are hungry to learn. This really is the thing I think that separates us. That we have 800 million in venture capital available. That is the most per capita in Europe. That if everyone in Ireland wanted to get money, everyone would end up somewhere around €250, which isn't too bad. So, but even with all this in mind, there's just 12 accelerators. It's still increasing, but there's only 12. But the best one is the DC Academy has a few. So I'm here to talk about that. The DC Ryan Academy is a joint venture between Dublin City University and then the Ryan family, of which is of Ryanair. I know all of you are very familiar with it, but they've promised me they're turning it around and they're going to be much nicer. So we're set up to help entrepreneurs all around Ireland, but I'm just going to focus on just the accelerator space that we have. We have a flagship program, which I'll get to in a second, called Propeller. Off of that, then we then run UStart, which is for students. Then we run a female-focused program, and then off the back of the success of these, we've been involved with MasterCard's StartPath Accelerator, which we're very excited about. So as you can see on the left, we have a very nice building. We've on the right, we've taken up office space right in the middle of the Silicon Docks. It's a hub. Where kind of there's a lot of startups in there, but we have kind of much bigger companies like TripAdvisor, and then very well-funded kind of moving to next stage startups who our guys get to just have lunch with, hang around with, but while we're doing this kind of stuff. So Propeller was started off the Techstars model. We took that for a year, looked at it. It went very well. But we kind of adapted it to the Irish market. So what we do is we obviously run all of these things, but the main thing we focus on is each of these aspects is taught by a successful entrepreneur, someone who could talk about any of these things. but this the one area that they attribute to their success. So every week you have extremely interesting people coming into the room. As I was saying, we have four programs. The Propeller Venture Accelerator is our flagship program. We give out 30K in investment plus 15K in services for 7.5%. That's located in our site in town. We also put that in with our student accelerator, which is 5K and no equity. If anyone wants to talk to me about any of these afterwards, I'm more than happy to talk about them. So we're into our fourth year of Propeller now. This is stats out of 3 years. Probably the most interesting thing there is that out of 19 companies that have gone through, 16 have received follow-on funding. I can't iterate how good a place it is to start a company or to kind of move your company. So this is a project we've started. I'm very passionate about that. We have using the experience that we've got from Propeller. We're helping students to develop their own ideas to kind of start their own companies. So that's called You Start, which is working extremely well. I know I did paint a very good picture of Dublin. It is a great city, but like anywhere, like here, like London, there's obvious problems. So the DCU Ryan Academy took a proactive step. We created the position for the first ever commissioner for startups. That person's job was to kind of consolidate all the activities and to market Dublin as a place to start up. So Niamh Bushnell was announced early last week, and you can see already in the days since I've done this presentation the amount of press that this has been covered. So I have 2 minutes left, but before I finish, every good investment pitch has an ask. So here's mine. So Dublin I don't believe that we're the 13th friendliest in the world. That's just not. What I would say is that Dublin, in my opinion, is the friendliest city in the world. I came into Salamanca last night, and it reminded me much of this place. A lot of cool stuff like that. It is a very fun city to be in, a very cool techie city. But what I would say is that so obviously good place to start up. But this is the big thing on our side. The Web Summit is the biggest tech conference outside of the US. This year there's going to be 40,000 attendees over 4 days with people. Last year there was people like Elon Musk and massive people. So that's running in November. So hopefully we can see you there. And if anyone has any questions afterwards, come talk to me. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.